I'm really enjoying a lot of things in the game right now. I would say the number one goal that I'm working toward is my Adventurers Guild tokens. As you can see here, I have 4,816. And so for those of you that don't know, I am here at the Adventurers Guild, at the Horn of Respite. This was added during the achievement update. In this shop is the Adventurers Guild outpost. In the inventory, one of the items that are here is the cape of the Trailblazer. So they've added 3 really great capes to the game. This is one of them. They've also added 2 capes for those of you that have been doing achievements. There's a cape called the Cape of the Half Achiever for people who have completed half of the total achievement points that are available in game. And then there's the cape of the Full Achiever, which is really nice. So I didn't go that route because I'm more of a, that's not exactly my gameplay style. I'm not like an achievement kind of guy. I love that it's in the game, but it doesn't tickle my fancy. So what I've done is I've gone for the Cape of the Trailblazer, and why I like it is, first of all, I prefer the stats on it for what I want to do, and I'll explain that in a second. But I also like the way of earning it, because once you've earned this cape, you have it. With the Cape of the Achiever, both of them, if they release more achievements and you don't meet the threshold of completing half of the achievements in the game, or of course getting extra collectibles to make up for that, which you don't have from achievements, then you get locked out of it. So I'm going to look at the Cape of the Achiever. The first stat on here, which I love because they added it, they buffed this cape. When this cape came out originally, I believe that this cape only had 15 crafting outcome. Now, so for those of you that don't know, I'll explain what exactly crafting outcome is. So in this game, we have a tool and a weapon system where you can make tools, hatchets, pickaxes, swords, shields. Once combat's out, weapons will have stats, and the stats on those weapons will depend upon the rarity of that tool or that weapon. In order to get these higher rarity tools and weapons, you need to produce large amounts of these tools so that you can get basically a percentage chance for it to be one of the higher rarity ones. And so what crafting does, it essentially acts as a stat that increases your chance of getting a higher rarity item, either from crafting or from smithing. And so one of my goals in the game right now is, especially once trading comes out, I want to be able to smith for other people. So say, for example, they have some fine material and they want to trade some over to me. I could take those fine materials, I could have the highest possible crafting outcome, that's my goal, and then I would have a high chance of making some nice eternal stuff for people. So that's why I'm going after crafting outcome, and this stat is actually the primary reason why I've spent time going after this cape. And I will be going through my my Wikipedia entry to talk about everything that I've learned from my time going for it. I'm like 100 tokens short of getting it right now. So I'll have like one more day of stepping before I can actually unlock it. But I want to look at the other stats. So there's work efficiency. You can see that it's kind of grayed out because I'm not traveling right now. But it's 20% efficiency while traveling. That's a handy stat. Saves you some time traveling from place to place. Then 25% fine material finding. And I love this stat because in this game, the top gear is going to be crafted by players. And the best of that crafted gear will be, as I've said, like eternal and perfect quality. Ideally, for endgame, you'd love to get your hands on some eternal stuff. So the more fine materials you have, you can specifically target higher rarities of tools and weapons. You can specifically target them by using fine material. And that's what makes fine material so valuable. I'll also show you, I've been mining in this game, so I'll show you how much fine material I've gathered going from 0 to 90 mining. And you can kind of see exactly how rare it is. So for that reason, I really like the fine material finding. Then it also gives you 1 inventory space. Now this seems small because with the legendary backpack that you can get quite easily, you can bump up your inventory from 28 to 32 inventory slots. And that's really great because with those 32 inventory slots, let's say I'm making Fargonite bars, I have 800 inventory slots. So I could bring along 600 coal and 200 Fargonite, and then I could end up making, I guess, 200 Fargonite bars. But the problem is, the moment that you have a full inventory and you process one new item out of it, like a bar, you create one extra stack. If you're using the option in the game to pause you when you're not at full efficiency, you will basically pause your progress. What I do instead is I just bring one less stack. So instead of a full load making 800 bars, I only make like 775. And that's fine. But with one extra inventory slot like this, as long as you're not doing an activity that needs a back slot, like for example, spelunking, you need a climbing tool. So you wouldn't be able to bring along the legendary 4-slot backpack. But most activity, let me get past this busy intersection here. All right, seems like we're still going, even though I can't see chat. All right, I think we're past this truck. So with both the legendary backpack, which you can wear in most situations, and this cape, which again, there's only really 4, I think there are 5 total capes. There's the basic one you get from Herbert, which is like 1 efficiency or something. Then there's the feather cape, which I'm actually wearing right now and I can show you, which is only for agility. And then there's, I guess, the 2 achievement capes, and then there's this one. So it's not the kind of cape, it's not the kind of item slot where you're constantly swapping out for every skill. There will be some variation, but I can pretty much always have one extra inventory slot now. So now I will basically be able to actually make use of my 32 stacks of resources, because the 1 overflow stack will go into my 33rd. Okay, the next stat on here is find collectibles. For those of you that are chasing achievements and are chasing some of those capes and all that kind of stuff, there is a lot of grinding that goes into going to a location and trying to find these rare achievements or these rare collectibles that drop. And so, every step you take have a 15% higher chance to give you an additional collectible. That's fantastic. And that's something, again, it's a cape, so you'll kind of always have that with you. You won't have to compromise it when you swap between different gears and stuff. And then the last stat on here is the 2% chance to find one Adventurers Guild token. I have been doing the rescue mission here in the Horn of Respite. I have been doing that just since the end of August, and I'm almost completed. I've been trying, I try to do like 30 or more steps. I got sick this week, so I haven't really accomplished that this week, but I tried to get about 30,000. So that's been maybe my average since I've started doing this activity. And I did the math, and I get about 91 of these tokens per day, doing about 30,000 steps. So what I tried to do is I said, once I have this cape, and I'm looking at this 2% chance to find Adventurers Guild token, how much value am I really gonna get out of that in comparison to this time that I've spent strictly grinding for Adventurers Guild tokens? That's something that I've been trying to figure out. And if I do kind of like my normal 30,000 steps, the number that I got from that, in my attempt to crunch the math, is I'd get about 13 tokens. So it's not terrible. Like a full day of grinding would have been 91. A passive day of getting tokens would be about 13. So that's a pretty good, like, long-term income. Like I do this for like a month and a half, get this cape, and then from this point onward, I'm getting like over 10% of what I would have gotten from Adventurers Guild tokens just by doing other activities. Now again, this is assuming that the activity that I'm doing is in like the 40 to 50 range for steps, which a lot of level 50 activities are in the game right now. Like for example, coal is 45, Fargonite's 53. I think mangrove logs, which is the level 50 woodcutting activity, I think it's sub 50 actually. I think it's closer to 45. So, if I'm doing a bigger task like spelunking or crafting or woodcutting or that kind of stuff, or even making bars. I will get less value out of this because it's per action, right? It's not per step. All right, so that's the cape. That's why the cape matters. I want to show you guys, let's see here. Let's go like this. There we go. I want to show you guys, well, for those of you that don't know, I want to show you the activity here. Here, let me cancel this. There we go. So it's under agility. There are 2 missions here. Both of them will give you Adventurers Guild tokens as the reward. There's Rescue Team Mission, which is 5,667 steps. That is the lowest it will go according to your efficiency. So that's what I have it at. It's a level 30 task. So once you're past level 30 agility, I think you get 1.25. I don't know if any of the admin are on, they can correct me later, but I think it's 1.25 efficiency for the first 25 levels past that. So once you hit level 55 agility, I think the timing's ideal. Got a message, is it? Oh dear. All right, I just got a message telling me that my stream froze. So let's see if I can unfreeze it. Okay, I have paused and unpaused my stream. Unfortunately, I know I can't see the chat because YouTube's being funny. But if anyone sees that it's returned, they can tell me. Okay, great. I got a message telling me that we're unfrozen. All right, thanks a lot. It's a bit of a pain that the chat's not working, but it seems like we're working out okay. All right. So, okay, so we're gonna see in 1 second. We've got 6 steps left, and we'll see what we get as a reward from one thing. Okay, so I got 2 name tags and 2 adventures enamel pins. All right, so here's some drops. I'll show you just kind of where you sell them. Okay, you go here, you go into him, okay, you sell them. You go here, I got 60 from however many remains I had, 50 from name tag, okay, and then I also got some from the Adventurers Guild. So it's 136 tokens. I'll trade that, okay, and I'll exit that. And now I'm only 48 tokens short. Okay, well, I won't be getting it during this stream. But, and I knew that. I knew I was a couple short. So I guess I'll get it the next day or so. But I did want to show kind of my gear setup and what I'm using for those of you that might be interested in going for this. So when you're doing a mission or an activity where you can reach the minimum timer, such as I am in this situation, at that point, you have to start thinking about other stats other than work efficiency that you want. Okay, so I'm at the minimum timer for this activity. And so, yeah, I'll show you some of the other stats I've gone for. This hat has double rewards, right? And this is an action where I want rewards. Like, I'm not just craving XP while doing this activity. So 10% double rewards, that's a huge win. That's that much less time that I have to spend just grinding tokens. Okay, there we go. So LDH says, Max Chill asks, what's the plan after the cape? Okay, yeah, great question. I've been thinking a lot about this. So the cape is part of my long-term plan. My long-term plan is to be a highly efficient smither. So as I've mentioned, I want people to be able to kind of rent me. And I don't think I'll do it for profit. Even just the experience is fantastic of people handing you items to process. So I would love to keep working on my goal of being a highly efficient smither. So basically I'm gonna get this cape, which I needed for one of my slots. Once trading comes out, which is, you know, as some of you that may have read in the dev blog today, trading is scheduled to come out soon. We've known that. Once trading comes out, then I want to be positioned to be an efficient smither, and I can kind of help people out. And the fun thing about that is, let's say if people get a bunch of fine materials and they want to make use of them, then I can process it for them, because fine materials take a long time to gather. So that's my goal. So I'll quickly just show some of the stats. Let's see here. Okay, there's some other items on here, like this has double action. So basically, for the lack of other reasons, I only needed 46 work efficiency, as you can see here. I got 12 double action, 18 double reward, 40% fine material finding, which again is important for this activity because you can get fine versions of these drops, which are worth 5 times more. You're not gonna get most of your value from doing that. You're not gonna get most of your value from getting fine materials because they don't drop that frequently, but it's a good thing to have. But then also very importantly, like, look at this mountaineering guidebook. This is such a powerful item. This is for agility. It takes away 10 of your work efficiency, which is fine in this scenario because the skill is only level 30. And so I have more than enough efficiency just from being above it and the gear I'm wearing. But it gives you 5% double action, 5% double rewards, 20% chest fighting, and 25% bonus experience. What do I got here? Okay. All right, well, let's see if I can, it seems like it froze, so I will pause and unpause. These are the challenges of trying to stream mobile. I've been trying to, anyway, so here we go. We'll just have to deal with it. So this book is a very good book. Now, if it wasn't clear what my answer was to Max Chill, as far as what I plan to do, I'm not sure if it froze up on you guys. My plan is to be a smither. So I'm trying to get as much crafting outcome as possible so that people can actually trade me their resources and I can process it for them. And some of that I'd love to do on live stream, right? Like, wouldn't it be fun to pump out some eternal tools, some eternal gear on live stream? I think that'd be fantastic and really exciting. So yeah, this is a really good item. Now, what I want to show is what has it taken so far for me to get all these tokens. So I'm going into the Wikipedia. I'm going into activities, agility, rescue team. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the 1.5 million steps I've done at rescue mission and what I've gotten out of it and what it takes to kind of give you an idea of, hey, like, if you want to do this, if you want to get this cape, this is what you might be investing to get there. So when I started this mission, I did have 50,000 steps already in the activity. So you can take away 50,000 steps from this. So it's just about 1,500,000 steps. So 307 actions. Okay. Now check this out. This is something that really surprised me. I actually didn't realize this until much of the way into grinding this cape. Look at the drop rate on agility chests. I have gotten 295 agility chests off of these actions. And my understanding in this game is that regardless of how big the action timer is on the actions, it's like a 1 in like 200 or 250 chance to get a chest. But yet I'm sitting here at almost 1 chest per action. So I'm curious. I wonder if the developers built a boost to this activity or if this is something that they're going to end up correcting. Because as you can see, go back to my items, I have a bunch of agility chests just sitting here. So, you know, I want to open them now and see what I get. Let's see what we get. And those agility chests have just been sitting there for like the past, like I opened some as I went along, right? So I'm very curious if that was intentional or if it's just something that nobody's quite noticed yet. Anyways, I got shoes, I got a grappling hook, I got stuff. I do have every drop out of this chest right now. So I guess once trading comes out, then we can have fun like sharing and trading this kind of gear. All right, so let's go back into, oh, now I overburdened myself. Oh, that's cool. So Max Chill said in chat that these kind of drop weights are boosted. So I was talking to LDH about this the other day, and it's very generous that it's boosted to this level. It's very generous because even if you just look at the average steps per chest, in some of these boosted ones, it is better per step to get chests in some of these. So I did the math with LDH, and the drop rate I'm getting on chest here is about equivalent to the same as if I was getting a chest drop every 120 actions in mining. So it's still very generous and still very good. All right, let's get into the Wikipedia. But you know what? One thing, I want to show you something else. Oops. All right, guess I got to fix this now. Let me just split my screen. Okay, there we go. We're all fixed up. Okay, one thing that I love about the Adventurers Guild, all right, if I can find it here at the outpost, is that you can deposit items. So that is amazing. I will take advantage of this now. I will deposit all the stuff that came from my chests. For those of you that don't know, you can bank by holding down this button. I know a few times on my streams people have been surprised to find that out, and we're quite happy. Let's see here. Gotta put away all this gear. All right, so we're back to a normal action timer, and I'm pretty sure that means the activity stopped because I did have the efficiency option checked off. There we go. So there we go. So all right, let's go back to the Wikipedia. Let's go here, and let's examine everything that I got out of this time I've spent. Go back to agility, rescue team. Okay, so 1.5 million steps. Originally, my estimate was that it was probably going to take longer, like 1.6, 1.8. So I'm happy to see that it's closer to 1.5 million. Again, 50,000 of that was already in the activity. I got all those chests. I got adventurers enamel pins. You can see the drop rate was good on those because those are the lowest value items that are dropped here. Name tag, 143, unidentified remains. I really like that there was a 34% drop rate on these remains because the remains by far are the biggest, like a huge chunk of the points you get in total. They're worth about 20 each. And when you get to find one of them, it's worth 100. So that's pretty remarkable. All right, so let's see what else we can see here. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. This cape is kind of just an investment in your account. Once you have it, assuming again, you don't also have the other cape. Like I know, maybe I won't blow his news, but LDH just got one of the better capes. So I'll probably let him talk about that himself on one of our devlog things that we do. We'll have one coming up soon because today was devlog day. But for the most part, like for me, like I'll have this cape. It's an investment. I'll be getting tokens every day. I'll be, I'll be getting crafting outcome on stuff. So I'm pretty happy about it. It does require kind of having like a month or two. I mean, it depends on your step total, but it does require having a period of time where you kind of put aside the dopamine rush every day. Like, I guess if you didn't have shopper, nice. I guess if you didn't have all the stuff from the agility chest, I guess that would be something exciting that you would see regularly. Like maybe you get the legendary headband or the epic shoes. Like that would be something fun. So I actually would encourage people to do this, and especially if they haven't cleared out all the agility chests, because this is a highly efficient way to get agility chests, which is really nice. All right. Yeah, and I guess that's one of the last things I'll do, because I am starting work soon. I will talk about my account and where it's at so far. This week has not been hot for me. I got sick around Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I wasn't getting so much. And I've been trying to recover this week. So, you know, that's the thing about WalkScape. You enjoy your progress, but when you get sick for whatever reason, you have to kind of accept your losses. So that's kind of what I've been doing this week. I started this activity at 6 million. So you can see I'm just over 1.5 million since I started. I've been focused on mining. For a while, I was pushing really hard to be #1 miner. But then I decided, you know what? I really want to get into smithing. I just really like what smithing, the design of what smithing will be as far as weapons and such. And so I've diversified. I had 86 agility, I think, when I started doing this activity. So I did boost my agility from like 86 to 91. So it's actually higher than my mining now. So I guess it's my highest skill now, which is funny. And so my next goal will be, here, I'll show you what one of my next goals are. Let's get into items. Let's go into the bank. All right. During August, when everyone was trying to do the step challenge, I was trying to get 1 million. I spent all of August processing well, a lot of coal and a lot of fargonite into bars. So I've got 18,000 fargonite bars now. My goal is that whenever combat is starting to rear its head, or whenever the developers give us access to making fargonite weapons, my plan is to use all these bars. So this is actually kind of my head start to smithing experience, because as you can see, I'm only in the 70s for smithing right now. But once these weapons come out, and you can make fargonite weapons, because we can only make up to tarsilium right now, I'm going to be processing all these bars into weapons, hopefully getting an eternal out of it, because statistically speaking, 18,000 fargonite bars is enough to get some eternal fargonite out of that. So, but not just that, I got my ores. I have 900 coal and 300 fine fargonite. And with the right gear setup, I might get 1 or 2 eternal fargonite, either weapons out of it, or I guess if I trade with someone, I could make the tools, because I'd have to get some fine mangrove once we can process that. So yeah, so short-term, my long-term goals, and that's what I'm up to. I would have loved to have a proper chat going so I could talk to people and answer questions, but you know what, I think this is fine too. Give me a chance to kind of just share this piece of what I'm up to in the game. And I hope whatever you're up to in the game, I hope it's exciting for you. I hope it's motivating you. I hope the gameplay loop just kind of kicks you in the butt sometimes and makes you go for a walk, whether that's outdoors or whether you step in front of the TV like I do sometimes. I hope this game is having a really positive impact on your life, because as I've shared in the past, this game has done so many things for me. It's been so good for my health. It's also been good for my mental health, because you know, I'm prone to getting absorbed into like mobile games on the Play Store. So this game has been really good for me because I've been trying to stay disciplined, excuse me, to make this my primary game, and it's really served me well. So as we head closer to open beta, which you know is nearing its head, it's not exactly on the doorstep, but it's nearing its head. I hope that all those players come in will receive just as much benefit as myself and other people. You know, I read a story about people who are having health crises and are having a lot of trouble getting out of the house. And I saw one testimony about a guy who was able to get out for 10 or 20 minutes because he was motivated to get out and play. And if that's what this game is doing for people, I think we've got something special in our hands. Good morning. I've got a friend of mine who's just learning about this game, and she's super excited about the monetization and about how you can't, you know, spend your way to the leaderboards. And so I think a lot of them, when they experience this game, they're going to be very refreshed, because there's meaningful social health goals with meaningful fair competition. You know, as we've seen, the game developers do take fairness properly, and they do have anti-cheat systems which they do act on when people break them. And so they are trying really hard to make your real world goals and your real world progress. Let me get back to an activity. All right, my friends, that's it for now. I do want to live stream more often, like especially between my schools like this, as long as the connection behaves and it's functional like this. I would like to do it. I think it's fun. I think it'd be fun to do this kind of, you know, regularly, you know, and across the months. You'd see the seasons change, and I just think there's a lot of good things that happen when we make the game a social experience and not just a single player exercise game. So, all right, cheers to you all, and cheers to devs.